Oh, Jesus. That one felt good, though, Rod. Thanks.
It's time
Was that a howl and a moo at the same time?
I was saying moose.
Oh, well, that would make a lot more sense.
Welcome to Murder Moose Podcast. Everybody, hey, you, everybody. Episode 132, part of the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
It's in the game.
Is it the game?
I was looking at my audio, and I'm like, I think I'm a little higher, and that was because my audio was a little bit turned up more than I'm used to.
He was horny.
Was it cranked?
It was cranked.
Was
It was turned.
Oh my God.
It was TURNT. Turned up.
turned up.
Oh, no. No.
We're turned and ready to.
All I have to
Burn.
say
I don't
now,
even know.
I watched. I was on my adventure, and on my way back, I watched Bodies, and now I feel like one of the douchey kids in that movie. And
I saw that with my nibbling in theaters, and we weren't impressed, but the more I think back about what that movie was actually trying to accomplish, I think it's perfect for what it was trying to do, and I think it did a perfect job.
I will inform you that it's way worse when you know the twist at the end. And you're like, you're sitting there
I
going,
can see that.
You sit there going, oh, okay, I know
movie's so dumb.
what the initial thing, and you're just like, and all I could think of the whole.
As like
I just
a
thought- I just thought,
magnifying
like,
glass on culture,
Dude.
it's perfect.
The last 15, 20 minutes of that movie where they just start using like all internet terminology on each other and like, you're a gaslighter and you're this and you're this. And it's just like, and then I'm like, can you just kill each other faster? Kill each other faster. You're not killing each other fast enough. But yes, I see why you did say though, because Josh, like back before Continue, was like here full time. Josh went and saw that and he was like, yeah, I don't want to do that for the podcast. And I could understand why.
I hated. I was hating on it, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to I don't know. It is what it is type movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad we are doing this one because I haven't seen this one as much. Scream 4.
I think,
and it's just.
I think it was
fun,
only my second watch, and it was like, I was like, again, anyone who ever, it was more confirmation how Scream 3 is by far the worst Scream, and it's not even fucking close.
But I feel like now watching this and seeing the two that have come after this, he really did it again. He made this the new start to the new way of, like the first one did. Like they're following the rules that he set out, and the isms that he says in this are completely used in the fifth one to continue again. And I'm fucking Wes Craven going is such a loss to our genre.
This was his last movie too.
Yeah,
made this in 2011 and he died in 2015. Also, the other thing that reminded me of everything before we go too far with it is Courtney Cox fucked herself up real bad in 11 years because she still looked fucking fantastic in this movie.
Yes.
And you're like, by the time Scream 5 comes out, you're like,
I know.
Were you like going in for Botox every single day in between Scream 4 and 5? It's just funny because I said this while we were watching. I was like, man, you just see like what just not fucking with yourself looks like, because they were like pretty even in this movie, Neve Campbell, and Neve Campbell still looks great.
I have a friend that is like really wanting to go and get like work done, and I'm like, fucking don't, please don't. Like seriously, you like get out of your own head because you look great, and the potential for you to not look great is very high. Going and messing with shit. Just don't.
There are things that like I approve of, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I know I have friends that have things they want to do that I'm like, yeah, that would be like, but like the face specifically is just
tattoo
such
your face.
Yeah.
It's the same. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just tattoo
just
your
like,
face.
Yeah. I just think that there are reasonable things because I don't want anyone ever to feel bad. It's just hard because it seems like
I'm
plastic
trying
surgery.
to be body positive there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I know.
it's seriously,
Well,
there's
I
nothing
think
wrong.
that
But
I think
I
that
don't
a
know.
lot of ways, plastic surgery is like tattoos. It feels like, right? Like
Yeah,
people
it's a
go
body
That's
once
what I've
and
been told.
yeah, and they're like, okay, that's not enough. That's enough, and they like it's never enough, and it's just like,
just
yeah.
look at Madonna, look at Mickey Rourke, and get back to me.
But the thing with Mickey Rourke, that motherfucker was always kind of wonky looking
I
after
know,
the
but
80s.
he wasn't that wonky.
But
Yeah.
so me chiming in from left field with plans to have work done. Let me explain something
What?
really quick.
What? No, Ken.
Different.
Different.
Okay.
Is it face, or is it different?
Some of it, but it's here's the thing: the time that the amount of work and like research and stuff they've been able to do over the years to improve the surgeries has exponentially improved.
Yeah.
Personally, if I could go right now, the first thing I would do would be have my loose skin removed.
Yeah. And that's
And get new boobs because
Yeah.
I don't have boobs anymore. I literally just have like
Yeah,
I
those are-
make this joke all the time. It's just skin. It's 2 pieces of skin
Okay.
with a nipple. That's
But
it.
that's
So
very
like,
different.
But
That's like
but I would definitely get my eyes lifted.
so. I was referring to you when I was talking about things that like I just didn't want to. I didn't want to sit there and call you out on the podcast without you
No,
calling
that's
yourself
cool.
out. And I go. You have something you want done because of all the
Continue.
stuff that you. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
beautiful.
Yes, sir. Oh, thanks.
You are
So
beautiful.
are you.
Also, is HT an ass man or a tits man? He probably
He's a boob man, and I don't have boobs. So
see
I don't
that
have an
makes it.
ass either, but I'm that one I can work on. That
Oh.
one I'm working on.
I bet
But-
I bet you're Ken. I don't look at your ass on a regular basis, but I'm sure it's wonderful. So
It's
stop
great.
being so.
It's getting there. Listen, I can deadlift reps of 115. Like, we good. Let's fucking go. But I
You're-
don't have boobs.
You're buff as shit. And again, I'm an ass man, so boobs are usually overrated in my book, so it's okay.
I like it all.
I mean, I
Sign
don't
me
like.
up.
It all.
Like
I like boobs, but yeah.
I love
Okay.
boobs. I love butts. I love it all. Come on, just give it to me.
Da 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 da.
Da-da-da-da.
How the fuck are you lovely people though? We kind of went
Fabulous.
off into rants already, like as we usually do at this point. But
Who cares? That's what we
No,
do.
no, I'm just-
Isn't that what a podcast is? Hey,
it is. It's
welcome
what
to the
Murder Moose is.
podcast. Rant. Hey,
Rant.
podcast is done now. Have a nice day.
We're
That's the
talking about
podcast.
hanging out with your beautiful, smartest friends, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know, that's the podcast that one of the characters in Bodies has. So it's yep. So that's what I was making more bodies references. But
I have a
They all had
question.
bodies.
what's up?
We're not doing Scream 5 on here, right? Because you guys have already done it.
I think
Oh,
we
right.
could skip Scream 5. Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, can I just bring up the fact that I thought it was really cool that the last podcast on the left is... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Moving on. Actually, that's not a spoiler.
Huh?
But there's a poster for last podcast on the left in 6, and it makes
Is
me
there?
happy.
Oh.
Yeah. It makes me happy.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
There's a lot of cool posters in all
Yeah.
these movies because it's the love of horror, right? It's that embracing horror, and that's always a thing. It's usually the crazy people embracing horror.
Yes.
But yeah, it also made me wonder though after watching it again how like they kind of don't actually say Kirby lived through 4. You know what I'm saying? They're like she kind of mentions all the characters that died, including Kirby, and Dewey doesn't correct her, and you
Right.
go. And I always laugh at the I'll get into it. We'll get into it. The movie though. Have you guys been watching anything else cool in the meantime?
Oh, I watched
The
something
Shazam,
really
like you said.
good.
Yeah.
N65.
I like which was funny because I go from Scream. We watched Shazam and then into Scream 4 with the cop who was also
Yeah. I made it
Captain
an Adam Brody weekend
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I was like, oh,
Captain
I,
Powers with everything.
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
grew up on the OC, so like I'm I'm all about Adam Brody all the time. It's just, what else was he? He was in a few things after the OC that I was like, man, he's just in everything I like. But OC was what it was.
I never watched an episode of OC. Not one. Not
It's
one.
pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
I started Beef yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
I thought it was a movie. I didn't know it was a series.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a series either, but then I started to watch it and I was like, oh man, this is pretty damn good. And then I watched something else. I have a whole list of scary movies to watch this week, though.
Nice.
Like, whole list. Also, can you...
Is Psycho Gorman on that list?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's what I thought.
I have a really silly question. Actually, I'll just Google it and then I'll tell you why I was asking. Okay, so A24.
Yes.
Like, can we talk about the fact that they just like do everything and make awesome shit?
Didn't they make Beef?
I think so. Yeah, they did. That's what brought it up for me because I was like, damn. And then Talk to Me. I saw an ad for that. That looks really cool. That's Australian. They're doing The Beau is Afraid, Beef, Past Lives, You Hurt My Feelings. Like,
I mean, it's very artsy usually, but they're like, their hit percentage is higher than most studios out there. Like, it like especially in the horror space because you have Blumhouse that like just fucking their rate goes up and down at times, right? They're like sometimes they're below 50% and sometimes they're above, and I don't know how well they're going. I mean, I don't know. It's there's not a lot of companies that do movies at a success rate as high as A24. They're just obviously there's a numbers thing, right? Because they don't put their name on everything. They don't like put out everything, but like they're really, 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 really good at like sitting there and concentrating and like just picking things that they believe in. It seems like,
yeah.
I mean, they didn't put out Mario, which made 300 plus million over the weekend, and
it has a built-in foreign audience, and if you have that, especially in the like Asian market, you're gonna clean up. And if you're allowed to play,
it made 300 million in America though, dude. That movie just fucking
it made 200 something in America.
I thought it made 300 in America. I don't know.
No, I think that's World Take weekend.
Speaking of which, I went and saw Dungeons and Dragons, which was a blast. So that was a fun movie. So
just so funny to hear. Like it was one of those that I was like, fuck that shit. And I keep hearing, it's so fun. It knows exactly what it is, so it does it on purpose.
It does.
That's what I've heard. Is everybody that like is really into D&D? They're like, no, this is actually really good.
It's weird seeing Hugh Grant as a villain because he's always, he had like a decade plus of like leading, smiling, handsome man. But it's good to see him just going out. Well, dude,
so he can be trusty.
His career kind of fucking died for a while, and I think Paddington brought him back. Paddington 2, which is still one of the highest rated movies of all time. Like, I've never seen it, but I hear it's very good. And I follow a guy on Twitter.
You watched the Nick Cage movie, right?
No, I still haven't watched that. I need to. That fucking movie is every meme on Instagram and TikTok. It's like you go through.
Seriously, watch that fucking movie. It's the funniest movie ever.
Which one is it?
The Massive Weight of Talent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Impossible, whatever.
Yeah. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the meme with Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal riding in the car, and they're like looking at each other, and it is
so good.
Everywhere on fucking
that movie made me laugh so hard that it actually hurt.
And
movies don't do that very often. I don't remember honestly the last one that made me like I'm laughing so hard I'm missing parts of the movie. Fuck. It just makes you feel like tired but so good.
I think the last time I laughed that hard was I watched the new Bert Kreischer special on Netflix
I love him.
month ago. and that motherfucker slow burns fucking stories and into the like. If you watched his new special about he did this like Hollywood, like they were doing a volunteer thing, like a wine tasting event, and they were selling tickets for all these prizes, and he bought like 640 tickets or something like that. So he kept going up to win all the prizes, and I was laughing so I was like, I literally fell over on the floor and was just like because he's so fucking funny. He's dumb as shit, but he's fucking hysterical, and it's just like that man makes me laugh. I have one more question before we talk about Scream 4 though. Did Josh? I assume you're up to it, but the new episode of Mandalorian from last week with Lizzo and Jack Black, which I was seeing people complaining about Lizzo being in it, and I was like,
what the fuck?
Lizzo was
like, if you're the show is it's commercial success, so if you're gonna introduce new characters, you're gonna have people from Back to the Future as a new, and you're gonna have Jack Black, and you're gonna have the big names because it's just that big, and these people can come in, and it's like the bucket list stuff. I love seeing what's his name? The Canadian actor who comes in. He was in. Fuck, I'm spacing so hard right now.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He's the guy who is trying to help them and like flies down. He's like, hey, wait, how did you know where we were? And he's like, no, you guys are fine, but your friends are fucked on this planet, by the way, so go and help them.
Yeah. I don't know.
He was Appa on Kim's Convenience, the Canadian show that my friend was a part of. So to see him go from Canadian show to Star Wars.
What kin?
I'm sorry. I was looking at A24 stuff, and while we've been talking about this, I found a midsummer taxidermied rat for $140 on Etsy and a hereditary gingerbread treehouse. I sent that
That's
in the
awesome.
group chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I got him. Paul Sung Hung Lee.
From this fucking rat.
Oh my
you gotta
god.
put it in the chat now. Put it
That
in the
is
chat.
I did.
nightmare fuel. Holy
Please tell me I
fuck.
put it in our chat. Not so. Okay, good.
Oh my god. That is nightmare fuel.
It's $140.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's got the same Florence Pugh look on his little mouse face.
I
There.
know, but it's 6 inches.
I think all this shit is cute.
Yeah.
The hereditary
It's so
gingerbread
fucking-
house.
I know, but
It's
the
awesome, but
gingerbread
it's-
house is hilarious. But like,
Okay. Now that we've thoroughly gone down our I think we've all already been super ADHD as we normally are here.
I'm
But
sorry.
That's fine. No, don't you sorry, Macon. That's what you're here for, because we love you. Then you
know
find
that,
things like
okay, I don't. This is just an assumption, but I assume that you don't have very many other ADHD friends like Rod and I in your life.
no.
If you're apologizing to Rod and I, it's because you are like all of us, and other people around you do not have ADHD, or they think they do, and they say they do, but they really don't. And
you'd be like,
but
if
we
anyone
do.
says, if you have a friend that goes, yeah, I have ADHD, and they're just like one of those people that like just their mind wanders off every once in a while, just put them down on an episode of Murder Moose and be like, this is ADHD. You want to see ADHD, motherfucker? Look at this.
I've been diagnosed my whole life,
Yeah.
medicated. Are you diagnosed ADHD?
Oh my
Are
god,
you-
we were talking about that with my psychiatrist today because I was telling her about how like sometimes I feel like the pharmacies think that I'm like selling my drugs or something because they like question everything I do. And I was telling her about you, Rod, about like, you know, you having a hard time getting your hands on Ritalin, and she's like, yeah, I don't really understand that, other than there's been a huge influx of people trying to get Ritalin lately. And I was like, isn't that nice? I was like, because here's a fun story. I've been on this forever and I need it. And I really wish people would stop trying to get it. Like, I know you need it too. But like, Ron needs it. And I need it. Josh, we all need it. Just let us have our drugs.
Tomorrow is 6 weeks since I called for a prescription refill. Guess how long of a refill, supply of Adderall they'll let me have?
A month. 1 month.
4 weeks. Yeah, a month. So if you could do that math.
And you can't even apply for your refill until the day of. Congratulations. You're trapped in the loop of fucked.
Bend you over and fuck you in the ass without lube. And with that, also, I would just want to say, Grogu getting knighted was one of my favorite things ever. And I loved it.
He was so.
I loved it.
If he's not one of the cutest characters, anyways, he was super cute in that episode.
Yep. He loved Lizzo so much. He was cheating for her. He was like, "Here you go, Lizzo." Also, why are they using roly-poly bugs to do fucking weird alien sports ball like things? It was very strange. It was like a bunch of Canadians had gotten drunk and were like, "Guess what? You know the game where you knock the ball across? That's not good enough. We need to take roly-poly bugs, and we need to throw them through LED lights."
Roly-poly, he's small and square and round.
Okay, with that shenanigans, we are going to talk about Scream 4.
We are Murder Moose, part of the Slasher Cast podcast.
It's in the game. Yes, so today we're going to talk about Scream 4 from 2011. I'm going to read the synopsis, and we're going to go into it and have fun. So it goes as follows. 10 years have passed, and Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together thanks in part to her writing, is visited by the Ghostface Killer.
Can we talk about the cold open?
Yes, it is. The cold open of this film, I think, is probably the most iconic of it. Especially the stab 6 into 7 opening, which also gets played twice in this film because of the ending, the end house scene is fucking bonkers, and it has some really really good people in it. Right? You got
Kristen
Bell, and what's her name?
See that fucking coming? Shut the fuck up. So good.
Also, it made me think. Okay, right? Because Scream 5,
Anna be a badass. Awesome.
Yeah. Did you? I know you read Scream 5 synopsises.
I watched it.
Okay. So the whole, the thing they hate in that movie is Scream 8, or Stab 8, right? So they make it seem like in Scream 4 that fucking Stab jumped the shark a long time ago, because they start talking about time travel in Stab 5 or something like that they talk about. And I'm like, what the fuck are these movies? And I'm like, so then Stab 8 has nothing to do with Scream 4 because it has the chrome-faced flamethrowing crazy killer. And I wonder, because they have that throwaway line in this movie about Sydney suing them because they kept using her as a character. So I wonder if they just avoided the whole Scream 4 in the Stab universe, which it sounds almost as bad as the Saw spinoffs with all the bullshit with everything. And I still can't believe the Saw 10 is coming out this year with Tobin Bell and fucking Shawnee Smith.
The thing that James Wan did was make the franchise ability of his properties a thing they kind of were in the 80s, and Scream is one of the only other franchises that is kind of doing that. Evil Dead is still very produced by the original. They're holding it
cards to their chest,
and that's why they're so good, and that's why I cannot wait for Evil Dead Rise. By the way, it's my most anticipated of the year. I'm going the Thursday it comes out, and we have to talk about it because I cannot fucking wait. But it's different because they have that really close knit. It's tight to their chest.
Well, I mean,
Scream.
We have 10.
We could go.
Yeah, we have 10 years
down the road
now.
Of Stab.
Yeah. Well, I need to watch Scream 6 again. I really do, and I was debating.
Are they making a Stab movie? Is this a real thing? Like I think they're legitimately making a stab movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like I don't know if it's real or not, but the whole like alternative poster world is making all these stab posters, but I think it's because they're actually making a stab movie. I'm
Can I
not
just
sure.
say that if you are the producers for Stab and you just heard that little tidbit, we would love to be featured in the movie as like some type of like gimmicky podcast group for that. Just hit us up.
So it says, I see on Dextero, whatever the fuck you call it. It says Scream Team wants Stab spinoff. So I don't know if it actually is doing it, but yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. It's an interesting thought process because that would be so fucking meta. It would be fucking bonkers, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I feel like they have to. Did they acknowledge Scream 7 yet? After all the money Scream 6 made, I know.
Yes.
Like, okay,
It's
So
already
they
in
have-
production.
so they have the third. So they have this other trilogy, and that which will make Scream 4 the weird floater in between because of it's like such an isolated film, right?
Yeah. But it was
and-
showing that Wes Craven himself was open to it
Yeah.
not just wrapping up the way it did. So
Yeah.
he's the one who got the ball rolling on it. Like the fact that it just sat there for 10 years. These were a big deal, and the second movie made the most money to that until this movie that is in its current run is just past Scream 2, which is
Okay.
nuts to think about.
Yeah, I have to ask you both. There's another question I had while watching this. I was like, how in 2011 is this motherfucker HD streaming this shit anywhere?
I was trying to figure that out too. But if you remember in the original Scream, Gail has a camera in the house and they're streaming it to the car. It's on a 30-second delay, but they're still.
But they're streaming that to that, and I kind of thought about that, but they made it seem very, very easy in this one, right? And it's like, I'm like, Also, I always forget that Alison Brie was in this movie, and I love her, even though I feel like she isn't in enough stuff these days.
She was awesome in this.
Yeah. Oh, it's like my favorite part about her is after fucking she gets yeeted out the window, and Jill says something to her about her publicist getting killed, and Jill she doesn't say that she had just fired. She literally fires her, and then she gets yeeted off the 6th floor. And this is another thing. I said this while I was watching this. How come they never have motherfuckers explode when they fucking fall like 6th floor? Like they throw them out 6 stories, and then they look like they're the perfect actor and or actress that they were before they got chucked out. And I'm like, come on, man. And I just think of Hereditary.
Movie.
I know, but Hereditary did it. Hereditary had fucking shit exploding and stuff. Like the old man's legs just went.
Yeah, but that's because he's fucked up.
Yeah, we know. I hear
He wants it to be fucking like visceral and
I
to
don't
fuck
wanna-
with your head a bit. This is like studio shit. You give
Yeah.
a movie to Ari Aster, and he's gonna wreck your brain on purpose.
I don't want to Google it, but I wonder what the actual like consequences of falling 6 stories and
Yeah.
how much of there is left at that point. But I just wonder because it's like the inconsistencies of that stuff. Yeah, the cold opener in this movie is fucking fantastic because it's that inside thing where you're like stab 6 into stab 7 into the actual film.
But it's so meta that they even call itself out while being meta and calling itself meta in the meta-ness of the meta.
Yeah. It's funny because they don't like
And
Scream
then-
5.
Then Cox
Has a-
says it at the end too. How
Yeah,
meta
when
is that? What do you mean? I don't know. I heard someone say it.
Yeah. I think that there's the weird thing where you're like they there's some little things in this film that I'm like, you guys kind of missed, but not as much. Like, I feel like they tried real hard to make Randy again in this film.
Yeah.
And didn't really pull it off. I did like that kid though. I don't know what the fuck is up with the IMDb page for this, but like,
are you talking about the Culkin or
the other guy? The other guy was
with the
who tried to pull the gay card when he is getting stabbed to death. I'm gay,
but I'm wearing glasses and I'm gay. Oh wait, it doesn't work.
Yeah. They tried to pull him off, but like the other thing about the movie that I forgot about and kind of find odd. This movie is bright as fuck for the first like third of it. It is like white bright lights like through a lot of the scenes in the film, and I'm like, Wes, why is this movie so goddamn bright? But I think there was more of just like a choice to like do the like before and after, because it gets dark towards the end again. I mean, the farmhouse scene and all that stuff, but this movie is a really, really, really well lit Scream. And I also was saying when I was watching this, it was more proof again. Watching Scream 3 makes me angry because of the fucking one killer. You can't never again do a Scream movie with one killer, guys. Never, ever, 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 ever again. It just, because the best part of rewatching Scream movies is going, well, which one of those people is killing everyone in the scene? Like, and which will be interesting watching Scream 6 again. But like, I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, this has got to be the McAllister or the McCulkin, and this has got to be Jill, and this has got to be
McAllister.
I mean, let's be real. He will always be Kevin McAllister. Is his main thing. Like,
I hope he got a freaking back end deal out of that. Like, cause holy shit, I'm sure he did, but
maybe not for the first one. I bet for the second one. I did laugh though when Donald Trump got arrested, and I saw the first reporting of it I saw was Home Alone 2 star Donald Trump arrested. And it was literally how I saw the news was that tweet, and I'm like, this is a perfect tweet, and I fucking love it. And
whoever did that is a genius.
It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh yeah, that was Anna Paquin with Frozen chick in that scene. That's what I was trying to think of earlier, and then the cold opener. Anna Paquin, or what was her name on True Blood? Sookie. That show got real weird, man. Real weird, and TBS has been showing it, and I'm like, what is an average episode of True Blood?
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, what
vampires, right?
Horny vampires who eat fairies is the real like.
I never watched it. I remember there being horny vampires on commercials.
That's the premise, is horny vampires, and it's just like all the smut that like women seem to loved reading if you've watched Instagram videos, but like with vampires and horny and everything horny like teeth. That. Yeah. Ken, have you ever read horny vampire literature?
No. Well, unless you count Twilight.
So, yes.
Yeah, that's horny vampires for teenagers, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still vampire horny literature, I guess.
It's always the women, the books written by women where vampires find some other way to not like eat human beings, right? It's because
because Anne Rice, they still.
Well, I'm not saying every woman, but like I think everyone where a vampire is fucking some woman, they've found some other way to deal with their like, their violent nature. Like in True Blood, they had the substitute blood, and in Twilight they can eat animals and shit like that, right? So Bambi, sweet Bambi.
Oh, that's straight from this movie. What's your favorite scary movie? Bambi. Man, Hayden Christian, Hayden, whatever her fucking name. How do you even say her?
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, she can pull off short hair better than most women. She just fucking nails having that. Yeah.
I was just reading a lot about her. I didn't know that she went through everything she went through.
What show was she on? Heroes, I think.
Heroes.
She was on Heroes.
Yes.
She was on Nashville.
Save the cheerleader.
She was in a bunch of video games. She's been in a lot of stuff.
I saw. Yeah, I watched Heroes when it was on TV, and
another show that was like has that amazing first season and then like falls off a cliff so goddamn fast, like so goddamn fast. You're just like, because there were a lot of good actors on that. She was on that. The guy who played Spock on the newer Star Trek movies was on that as whatever, the Skylar, the bad guy, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people got their starts on that show.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they're big starts.
Rod got his start on Heroes too.
I did. I was like, I'm a hero. We had our first ferret was named Hiro after the Japanese character Hiro, Hiro, Hero. So, off of Heroes. But who could teleport? Right? I think that was his thing. He teleported. I don't fucking know. I haven't watched Heroes in a long time. Long time.
I
hate that, dude.
There was Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck. Prison Break's always a good example of a show that just falls off the face of. That is another that's like one of the best seasons of television ever. That like it just falls off the fucking because it wasn't something.
I feel the same way about Mr. Robot. To be honest, like Mr. Robot's first season was so good, and then.
I feel the same because I really loved that show. And then after the first season, I was like, oh, this is going to be so great. And then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Writing TV is so much fucking work. It's like.
Not everyone can be Breaking Bad, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I mean, maintaining like brilliance is just like not an easy task, man. It really isn't. It's like. It will be interesting to see how what they do with the next season of Last of Us, and I mean they're gonna obviously base it off of the second game, but it's like there's a lot of more decisions.
Than 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean that game is 2 to 3 times longer than the first one, so yeah, and that game is broken up in a way that you can do it in seasons like that, but if the next season starts the way I think it's going to start, it's going to be the red wedding of that, and it's going to be very very
I
bad.
feel like with the cast they have and what they've accomplished with the first season, and just Pascal being just like he's unstoppable right now.
Yeah.
And because he just continually kills it, his fandom is growing every day. So I don't know. Like you attach him to something, and it's probably going to be. I don't know. Like
he's such a meme now, man.
Yeah, the thing with the internet is if it continually like grows the love, like what's happening with Keanu Reeves. Like he had a downturn in his career. John Wick almost didn't get fucking made, or not made. It almost didn't get picked up to be distributed. It was almost going to go to like Netflix right off the bat and shit. And it became this thing, and then also Keanu Reeves became the internet's dad after whatever, right? Like everyone just fucking loves Keanu Reeves now. But now Pascal's in that same kind of boat. And
dude, he's so big right now. He's got him and Nicolas Cage meme, and he's also got the meme where they just put him eating a chip in front of something, and like it's like for some, it's.
Is that the commercial where he's like in a suit?
I don't know. I think it's just he's in a T-shirt or like in a white polo or something, and he's just sitting there eating a chip, and it's like, well, blah blah blah, and it's just, and it's that's how much the internet loves him. He gets called by Emergency Awesome, the guy who makes YouTubes about everything, Marvel and DC and Star Wars and everything. He calls him Space Dad, and Starbucks is Space Mom, and then Grogu is just Man, you know what? The other thing that I think is that I do wonder with the end of this film, specifically Scream 4, like, was Jill?
Wait, what? Scream 4?
Yeah, Scream 4, the one movie we are talking about.
Oh, right. Oh,
how was I don't know if Jill was capable of editing together all that stuff, and it seemed like that the McCulkin was going to do all that, and then she murdered him, and I have to say though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh. You say?
No, she's she had a lot more plans than he did for sure.
Yeah, dude, that scene I still gets me every time where she starts fucking herself up. It's just like it's
full on
bonkers, and
but then laying down afterwards, and then like to the T, like she wants it to be iconic. She wants there to be like a passing of the baton to her to have the fame or to be infamous or whatever. And like the mirroring Nev Campbell was, it just shows that how fucking mental that character is right there.
Yeah. Well, then she mimics her at the end there, right? And so also better watch out. So rips off the end of this movie and just stops. Like it doesn't have the like go all the way, but it rips off the ending. I mean, where the killer tries to set up everyone and then their victim survives goes into full fucking panic.
Yeah.
Because this came out in 2011. Better Watch Out came out in 2016. So it's another one of those movies where you're like. Definitely
better watch out.
Yep. Better watch out. I love that movie.
Have you seen that one?
I know I'm slacking.
No. That's a holiday movie, so it's to be watched at holiday times. But I added that new action movie that's like Die Hard meets Home Alone. That's gonna be one I want to watch every year. I think it clicks.
Violent Night.
Violent Night checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
It so knows exactly what it's trying to do, and it's just taking the premise of the two biggest Christmas movies and smashing them into one and adding a little magic dust to it as well. And it does a good job. It's fucking funny. There's good kills. And
yeah, I still need to watch that one.
It's fucking good, man.
Yeah. Man. So Ken, I have to ask, how is your opinion on this film after like this being your whole intro to the Scream franchise? What was your opinion as someone like the first time view watching this?
I like this one a lot better than 3.
Yes.
I think 1 so far, well, up until now, was my favorite. But I did like this one a lot better. I think I like this one better than 2, to be honest. Like, I think I'd need to go back and rewatch them. But I like Emma Roberts. I used to not. I like her a lot now. I don't know. And I mean, the cast in this one is phenomenal. And I liked the story for this one a lot.
Yeah.
This
so
is like,
I definitely
it's got new Nightmare
like
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the meta stuff. I mean,
but it also just hits so much harder than all of like Scream came out, hits so hard. Scream 2, I still have like very nostalgic love for that movie because of the time I saw it, where I saw it, blah blah blah. 3 just it was what it was. That's all I'll say about that. It wasn't as good as it needed to be, but I still have nostalgic love for that as well. But when this came out and hit all the right points and how hard it hit it is it's how I felt the first time I saw the new Nightmare and was like, fuck, this is so well done.
Yeah. New Nightmare is one of those I feel like is such an underappreciated horror film because like I think people had checked out because those last couple of fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies get real terrible.
Those are things that I can just throw on in the background because I've seen them so many times and they're not great, but it's still like my favorite iconic character.
The only one that I have a hard time watching, a real hard time watching, is 6. 6 is the whole like the abandoned town storyline and all that. It just gets real rough there for a little bit, and they go back and it's this weird like ghost town, but like with only adults. And
I haven't seen 6.
It's real bad. The most famous scene from that movie, it's got a couple of like semi-regular things that get like brought up when you talk about Freddy Krueger in the like he's playing with playing Nintendo with the kid with the glove or whatever, and then the where the house is falling and Freddy's driving around like flying on a broomstick like the Wicked Witch of the West.
I get them all so mixed up because the only times that I've ever watched like 5, 6, like all of them is like in a weekend setting where I'm like, let's binge all the Freddy movies. So I've seen like the first few and like I think it was what's my favorite? I think 3 is my favorite or I don't remember. They all mash together. I'm like,
it's 3.
Okay.
3 is, I'm telling, it's got to be 3. 3's the like a lot of. I think 1's my favorite, but I really like 2. I really like 3. I like them. And then it starts.
There's so many crazy parts in some of them, but yeah, like when you mash them all into one, it's just
3 has the cringiest thing, like the thing that makes me cringe the hardest with like the is the he makes the marionette.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's definitely 3. But he also has the injector, like the needle fingers, and that's fucking gnarly.
And his most famous line, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." So yeah,
bitch. I love the TV. That's one of my favorite deaths.
Yeah, it is wonderful. I'm glad you like this, King, because it's one of those weird. I think it's like I said, it's this weird, odd film in the franchise because it's like. It's so spaced out. Like, it's so spaced out after everything. And obviously, like, what the early aughts really inspired Wes, because, like, they talk about all the remakes in this film, right? Like, they talk about, I think, was it Texas Chainsaw was the one that really kicked that off, right? The remake from,
Jessica, Biel? Or Alba?
From 2000,
Alba.
2003, I think.
They're the same person to me.
Wait, maybe it was Beale. I don't know. They're the same.
Right? Yes, they're the same fucking person. They don't look the same. It's just they were both big name Jessicas
at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Alba, which one was on the fucking show with the I don't know, man.
Seventh Heaven.
Isn't that
Beale? Yeah, I think
so.
That means
Beale,
that's the one in Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah,
she looked way too good in that movie. I was like,
she looks way too good in general.
Dude, that was the first Texas Chainsaw.
But that movie, I was like. I should not have as much of an erection as I do right now.
Stop! I can only get so hard.
Yeah, this is way too hard to be watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know.
Dude, that was my first Texas Chainsaw. I kid you not. I'd never seen another Texas Chainsaw. That was my
that's
first
a good fucking Texas Chainsaw to see.
Yeah.
Dude, I will never that opener where that chick pulls the revolver out of her pussy. Well, it's just like you're just like, what the fuck? And then they do that.
That one was rough.
They do the she shoots herself, and then you just like the camera is like using her head as like a window or something like that, and you're like, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, because that came out and made a bunch of money, right? And so they what, Josh?
What are you laughing at?
Rod.
Me trying to talk about Scream 4. I mean, God damn it. It started all these remakes, and that's like was a large. I mean, they talk about it in their film. I love
that
club.
That made Dawn of the Dead a remake, because that Dawn of the Dead remake is so good, and that wasn't that Michael Bay. Like what? Why didn't Michael Bay?
No, it was Rodriguez. He might have produced it, but it was Snyder. It was Snyder. It was Zack Snyder.
Oh, right.
That was my like first Zack Snyder, because he made that before Watchmen. I think him making the Dawn of the Dead remake got him Watchmen after that.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
I loved it.
Hallelujah. I will never understand.
James Gunn helped write that.
Having two superheroes fuck to Hallelujah or whatever. Watchmen. I don't know. But it was like it was such a weird time for horror, right? Because they had Scream kicked off all those Scream itself kicked off all these slashers in the late 90s, right? And then that ran out, and then they had the weird. They really didn't talk about it in this one, but like. They had that weird period where they were remaking Japanese movies, Japanese horror films like Ring and Ring 2 and all that, The Grudge, which was like the early 2000s, right? They like that was another phase, but
they influence each other so hard. So you see like those movies that come out at the same time, like Volcano and the other Volcano movie that no one cared about. And Dante's Peak and Volcano. They were both good.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had Armageddon and Sleep Impact.
Yes. And then they had the magic movies.
Yes.
Oh God, were they?
Now You See Me and
no, not the Now You See Me one, because it was two that were like the older style magic.
The Prestige and It always happens, man. It's always like it's a little weird. It's like studios hear that they that they're another studio is doing something, and they're like, there are always scripts that are similar going around, and they'll like pick up shit, right? And that's what we call the Prestige. That was a good one, though. Yeah. That ending of that movie is fucked up, man. They
even did Nolan for you. He knows how to do that.
They even had the Rick and Morty like Prestige, or it was like Rick like cloning himself and killing himself over and over again, just like the Prestige and whatnot. So, yeah,
just like Rod does every night.
And I'm dead. It was a weird time for horror, man. It was like horror always has those things, and like that's why Scream 5 hits so hard, right? Because Scream 5 hits that, but where like they.
That's the thing that's wrong with Hollywood, though. As soon as one movie, like you can almost like tell what we're going to get for the next 10 years because Megan did so well. Boom! Now we're gonna get a lot of fucking. It's just like what we were talking about the other with Scream and Scary Movie coming out, and then that's all we fucking got, and now no one's gonna touch a parody movie for a long fucking time because they got squeezed out. No one cares anymore. No one's going to see them. They're not making money anymore.
I don't really like the parody movies, so I'm kind of glad that they're
but the original Scary Movie was really well done and actually funny. The rest of them, meh. Who gives a shit?
Well, it's like what was that game? Those movies with Charlie Sheen and like the parodies from the early 90s that were like making fun of Rambo and
but those were just spin-offs of Scary Movie, just in a different genre.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is those did well, but then a bunch of rip-offs tried to come out, and they were all terrible, and they died for a while, and then Scary Movie
they were all packaging themselves as the same thing. So, like, to an audience, you think you're getting one thing when you're really getting this, and an audience it can't trust it anymore, so just not gonna go see it.
What was that fucking movie called? I was trying to think of
talking about Tropic Thunder.
No, it was in the 90s where it was like he was making fun of like Rambo and stuff like that.
Ben Stiller wrote and directed that.
Tropic Thunder? Yeah. I'm talking about in the 90s. It was like the ones he did in the 90s where
with like Hot
Shot.
Was it
Hot Shot? Hot Shot? Like where he used the bow and arrow with a chicken.
But there's like what is it? All the cop movies. There was parody movies forever. Like
they come and go. Like they come. But dude, we live in a world where making comedy is fucking hard in Hollywood right now, right? It's real difficult. Like it's you don't get R-rated comedies at all anymore, like or barely ever. And it's like they call shit like bodies horror, dude. Like what the shit they call comedy, they call shit random shit comedy now, and it's like Todd Phillips.
That was a comedy though.
Yeah, it wasn't very funny if that was a comedy, but like it's like all that stuff just doesn't happen. It's like Hollywood, like you think. I think that like the last huge comedy was like fucking Bridesmaids. Like it's been a long time.
I loved Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. When she shits in the sink, I still laugh at that. Just going, it's happening.
Don't look at me. My favorite scene in that movie. Sorry, that's one of my favorites. Is when they're on the plane and she walks up and she's like, "Help me, I'm poor."
But yeah, and that's the thing, man. Is Wes Craven never gave a fuck about roasting Hollywood. Never gave a fuck. He was like, I'm gonna do what I'm doing, and I mean, he points at like if it wasn't his first, it was one of his first movies. The Last House on the Left was one of his first movies, right? And like so he even calls out a remake of his own film and the Nightmare on Elm Street because this came out after. Oh, I don't like acknowledging the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street because that movie was so fucking terrible. But like,
really fucking bad.
He just roasted Hollywood because he was like, that man got burnt like real early. I mean, him and John Carpenter had a lot in common with like their careers, like where shit happened to their movies they didn't want, and like they just said fuck it. And now John Carpenter is still alive because he just wants to make music and smoke weed and play video games, and that's like his whole life. Wes Craven, I don't think he smoked all the weed like John Carpenter. That's why he's not around anymore. Man. I
believe that. I believe that.
You know what I was thinking though, watching this film though too, that I got a little sad, especially the scenes with Dewey and what's she call her, Judy, Detective Judy or what, Judge Judy, whatever the fuck she called her, trying to make fun of her. And I'm like, man, because they both get taken out in Scream 5, and you're just like, such a bummer. And I think this might be like Dewey's ultimate form, if you think about it.
Yeah, this is where he's most successful. He's chief. He's looking good. He looks great in this movie too.
He's still married. He's still married to
peak performance.
Yeah. And then in 5, he's just a fucking divorced like mess of a man who's day drinking while watching a Gale on TV
while masturbating.
Yeah, it's the saddest crying.
Yeah.
It's like the lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying. Do 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 do. Oh my I love that song, by the way. And it's weird. Like they kind of this movie starts kind of like what the next Scream 5 does too, where like they kind of try to give Neve Campbell more of a backseat kind of thing. Like it seemed like they were trying to focus on giving that her a starting a new franchise and not her. But like the problem with that is they kind of kill off a lot of the people that could have been like franchise people, right? This movie's body count is fucking pretty massive. Like Jill and the other dude go hard in the paint in this film, man. They kill a lot of people, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this movie I do like, and there's like lots of homages to Scream 1.
Homages.
Homage. I was trying to be funny, and it came out funny.
Really?
Fancy, man.
He's French. He is French.
I'll only drink my tea with my pinky sticking out.
He meant to say with his pinky up his ass.
I was going to say.
The prostate is the male fun button, Josh. The prostate is the male fun button.
That's why you drink your tea with your pinky up your butt.
It feels good. Damn it! Feels good, Josh. I feel bad for the douchey ex-boyfriend who kind of like they tried to paint as Billy for the whole film, but I
don't think anyone watching this ever believed that they were going to go down that route because they give him the backhand every time he comes on screen. Fuck off! Get out of here! You're a fucking idiot.
I still think that Jill might be the biggest surprise killer in the entire franchise. Maybe with 6 you can argue with because we're not talking about Scream 6 yet. Maybe 6.
They don't put you down that path in this one. They really like the way it's edited and what they choose. Like she gets sliced in the arm. And
they take your guard down from the get-go because she's Sydney's cousin. They're like, oh, this is Sydney's cousin. It could never be the killer. And then they kill her mom is even more like, she would never kill her mother. And then because you don't have a clue of how psycho this bitch is until she's chucking herself through glass tables and shit. Man, I have to wonder, though. I don't know if either one of you wondered this. Like, did you feel bad for the stunt man or stunt woman probably who had to chuck herself through a table like that because that shit looked like it fucking killed. Oh, it did not look fun. Did not look fun. It really didn't.
It looks fun to me.
Okay, Josh, go chuck yourself through a glass table.
It wasn't glass.
That table was glass, dude. It shattered. What did you think it was?
Hollywood glass.
You asshole. You asshole, Josh. You asshole. What else do we want to bring up about this film,
real.
Josh?
Fake glass.
It's real fake glass?
Yeah, it's real fake glass.
What else do we want to bring up about this film, you motherfuckers?
The poster is the best poster that has ever been put out for a Scream movie. That's all I got to say.
It is wonderful. It's like they use the mask in the best way. And it's simple.
That's why it just works way too well. I've been too busy to. I haven't made an alt poster in a few weeks now, and it feels weird to me that I've been like busy doing other things. But I was thinking about trying to get one put together for Scream 4 because I do like it so much. But then I was like, I like this poster too much to even compete with it. So I don't want to. It's here and it's being amazing right beside me. He's looking at me.
I also really like the Scream 4 with the A is the 4, but it's not as good as Scream 6, turning the M into the Roman numeral for 6. Fucking, I don't know if you can beat that at all. Like I think that was the ultimate. Like,
and I don't know what the 3D look of the logo that they're doing now too. It's good.
I assume in Scream 7 they're gonna turn the C into a 7. I don't know what else they do with that as the red Scream thing, but yeah, I really like the logo with this. I think that, man, I think this is probably I don't even know how I want to rate them really. Right now, I probably put this as like number 2 or 3 in the franchise for me. Probably 3. But I don't know. I need to watch 6 again. I really like 5. I don't know, man. It's I think this one holds up really well in it, but I think it gets kind of like forgotten about because it's so far apart.
I kind of think it does too. It's weirdly in the middle, and I don't think this movie gets enough love. So continue, fucking drop some love on this movie.
It's so great. I really enjoyed it.
Shower it with love.
Shower it. Golden shower it with love, Ken. Golden shower it with love.
That's just
piss all over its face, Ken. Piss all over its face.
I told you, Rod is very fucking horny today. I don't know what's going on.
We all are. It's life.
Life is horny. Life is horny.
Just like this poster. It's horny.
Yeah, if it would have been like a Scary Movie 4 poster, it would have been a dildo. Just like...
Hey.
Or a cock. A cock. It could have been a cock, too.
See, if Rod is talking about cocks, you know he's horny.
Yeah, I mean, I always talk about cocks, Josh, so I guess I'm
that's
always
why you're
horny.
always horny.
I am. Okay. This movie is wonderful, and you haven't seen it. Go see it. Also, what are we going to do next week? Okay, Scream 6, or we do Renfield, but then we would probably have to put Scream 6 off for a little while, which might not be a bad idea because Scream 6 isn't readily available to
let's put it off.
Watch yet, right? So
because I really do want to watch it again before we talk about it because
me too.
I had right after I watched it, I had like some points that I really wanted to make that I didn't feel it met my not even expectations. It just didn't. The bar was set with the 5th one, and I feel like all those things that it was doing well in the 5th one, it attempted to do again in the 6th and didn't hit the mark. And I don't remember what those things were. I just remember saying that.
I just remember Stuckman's review of 6, and he said that he had issues with it the first time, and it made more sense to him, and he enjoyed it way better the second time. So I'm excited to watch it again, actually. So, yeah. Then are we gonna go try and watch Renfield? Are you interested in Renfield at all, Josh?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's the movie about Dracula.
Nicolas Cage, Dracula shit.
It's not really a Nicolas Cage movie.
Is it?
It comes out on Friday. So it would be Kim said she's gonna go see it. So
I think we're going Saturday.
I'm good with it. And if any of us have issues, we can pick a new movie.
I like that Awkwafina's in it.
Yes. Yeah, she's like Josh, I know how you love horror comedy, and this looks like a good horror comedy, so
Awkwafina's my favorite. Do you watch her show?
No.
I've already Nora from Queens.
Yeah.
I've already watched the whole series because season 3 comes out on my birthday, and I can't wait. Yeah. It's the best birthday gift because I've already watched that series, the first 2 seasons, 3 times. 3 times. What the fuck? I spent most of the last week, or a lot of the last week, in a hotel, and the only 2 things I watch when I'm in a hotel, and I don't know why this happened because it happens constantly, are Ridiculousness and Shark Tank.
Because that's all that's on in hotels. I swear to God. The only thing on in hotels is Ridiculousness, Shark Tank, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park. And then in hospitals, the only thing that's on there are American Pickers, Pawn Stars, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park. Those are the only things that exist in those 2 planes of existence.
I also, you just reminded me, Ken, I can't believe they're rebooting the Harry Potter's movies as series on HBO, because that sounds like it's going to be the biggest disaster of all time.
Why are they rebooting them?
Because she's a giant cunt and nobody cares about what she writes about now. Those movies stopped coming out 15 years ago.
Don't say that. Oh.
It's been a long time. Maybe not 15, but it's...
Isn't there a new... Oh, wait, no, that's a new Hunger Games movie.
Yeah,
there's new Hunger Games.
Yep.
There's a new...
So, yeah, they're going to turn every book into a season on HBO. We'll see. And all I could say, and I said this as soon as I read that, I was like, I feel terrible for the motherfucker that tries to replace Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, yeah.
That kid is going to be like Jake from what is that kid's name from like the Phantom Menace? That's how bad that's going to be for that kid. Like, there's no way you can actually any of the main cast, but that's going to be the real bad one. Like, whoever they cast, whatever little kid they cast for that, is in for a hell of a fucking time. So, Josh, are you in to try to see Renfield, or and we can pivot if necessary?
Yes, maybe.
Okay,
possibly.
So
I don't remember.
We're gonna tentatively put in Renfield, and if Josh can't see it, we'll pick something else, and
I will try.
That will be it. So, okay, you motherfuckers, I love you, and I'm very happy to be back. And
I know I am seeing Evil Dead next week.
Yeah, that will be a couple. So that will be the week after. We'll talk about Evil Dead because I'm very excited. Very excited. And yeah, Scream 6 can wait, and we've already done a Scream 5 episode, so we're good with that. So,
and I'm doing a dance for no reason.
Josh has got a penis on his shirt, and it says "Come
it's
back."
It's a hockey
kid.
stick, and this is the Winnipeg Jets logo.
No, that's a penis. It's a penis. It's that has been like cut.
He is very
triangular and bleeding
today.
I love you, motherfuckers. And we'll catch you next week for tentatively Renfield. So catch you guys. Let's do their plugs real quick. Murdermoose.com. We have stdmotel.com, stdhotel.com. We got Only Nouns. We got fucking God, my brain. It's been a while. And
Tainties.
I forget what the last one is right now.
Quaint.
Oh, quainttaint.com. There you go.
That's the best. Continue.com.
Who's going to go to continue.com? All those, you're going to go type those other things because they're more fun that lead you to continue.com. Josh said you're a
just don't tell your mom.
Yeah. Don't bring your mom to Infinity Pool or your mother-in-law. And I am Rod_Johnson.
.com.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Rod_Johnston on most things, so you can find me if you want to. And we love you guys. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. So bye.
Bye.